Hey everyone, in part 2 of this tutorial series for converting and optimizing your raw scan data to CC character format, we're going to take a look at how you can generate expressions and wrinkles for use in Character Creator from your original model. Let's start off with a quick overview of the workflow. In the Face Tools panel, you can see that there are 13 base expressions which are used for facial performance. In principle, all we need to do is complete these 13 base expressions in order to utilize Reallusion's expression system. However, we can also modify these expressions so that they are more similar to those of the original scanned model. Let's look at the brow raise expression as an example. We can use a raised eyebrow blend shape from the original, overlap it, and then project it at subdivision level 1. From there, we can project the wrinkles onto the actor's forehead when he raises his eyebrows onto our CC model as well. If you watched part 1 of this series, you'll be aware that you need to do this at a subdivision level of at least 6. From there, we can apply a mask to limit the projection range, and then proceed to project the polypaint of the forehead area to the character model as well. After updating to Character Creator, we can then control the character's eyebrow raise via the Edit Facial tool, and we'll see the expression and wrinkles of that area are now more consistent with the original model. That's an overview of the basic workflow, but let's go into more detail now, starting with a bit of cleanup of the raw scan data. I'll import the blend shape OBJ in first, and then the accompanying diffuse map. Since we're only worried about the forehead here, I can just focus on that area and use masking to define our editing area. We will add separate scalp texture and eyebrow meshes later, so I'll also just smooth out the brow areas by adjusting the contrast slider a bit for each defined area, so that the raw data is a bit cleaner. From there, we'll just align and overlap the raw data with the CC head. Next, we need to project this new expression, so I'll click on the Brow Raise button in the plugin, which will enter it into recording mode, where we can begin editing it. Expand the subtool to display the raw scan data, and then at subdivision level 1, open the polygroup and apply a mask to ensure we're adjusting the proper part of the face. We want to align the topology of the mesh with the wrinkles of the original data here to ensure the correct mesh movement when the character raises his eyebrows eventually in CC. As with the first tutorial of this series, you can use Project All in combination with manual editing to get a better fit. Once the basic mesh is consistent, we can switch over to subdivision level 3 to project the wrinkles. Again, we're gradually increasing to level 3 and not directly to 6, as this ensures a more accurate result. Also keep in mind that when projecting high-level subdivisions, you may want to reduce the projection range via masking in order to get a more focused and accurate edit. Once you're satisfied, find the CC Brow Raise layer and use the slider to see the finished results. Now let's look at projecting the polypaint of the raw data onto our character. Start by applying a mask from the plugin and using any solid color to define the area to be projected later. Ensure that the raw data is displayed and convert the raw data's diffuse map to Polypaint. From there, make sure that the CC base skin head is displayed and selected. Then use Project Strokes to paint the forehead area. We don't need to worry about the range here, as we already defined the projection range earlier. If your projection area is too large, you can also paint over the unwanted parts later after projection is complete. Once you're satisfied, close recording mode and use the slider to check the results with topology and texture map complete. You can repeat the process for all of the other 13 expressions to ensure that they are more consistent with the original model. Let's look at one more different example, in this case the jaw opening expression. Again, you'll want to start off with aligning the two models and clicking on the Jaw Open button in Face Tools to display the raw data for your CC model. If we display both, you can see that there is a slight discrepancy in the jaw open angle. Let's start with subdivision level 1 and do some editing of the mesh to open the mouth a bit wider. You can also enable the polygroup so that we can focus the editing more on the chin. And once again, use project brushes to conform the mesh more closely to the original. Again, for the smaller details, you'll want to use progressively higher subdivision levels. Once you've completed the adjustments at the various subdivision levels, you can check out the result. Now, whenever you adjust the jaw mesh, you'll also need to align the teeth and tongue. Simply select the respective subtools and scale and align them properly with the originals. When we compare them side by side, you can see that the results are now quite similar. Naturally, you also want to apply the same Polypaint process we looked at earlier to ensure that the texture results are consistent as well. Once again, after masking, apply a solid color range, use Project Brush, and you're good to go. Test out the results with the relevant slider, and then proceed once again to update to Character Creator, ensuring that the normal and diffuse checkboxes for generalized wrinkles are unchecked, so we're utilizing the ones we just spent all this time on. These checkboxes are used to make generalized wrinkles, but for now we don't want that. Once you've finished harmonizing all of the 13 expression presets, you can see the results in Character Creator that will be unique to your specific model. You can use the various motion editing tools, including the Edit Facial tool, to see everything is now consistent with the original scanned data. That's it for this video, guys. Hopefully that helps you in your journey with ZBrush and Face Tools. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.